Hey, y'all, come on in. You're here on a good day. In the 1800s, tramps or hobos used to leave these stamps near railroad yards to know where to get work or a hot meal for the night.
No. These are different. Think of your cousin's tattoo.
Rick?
Sheila.
Oh, Sheila, ho.
It's a Christmas morning with the Barbershop Duet.
Hi, I'm Marcus Klinger with Klinger Vocal Studio.
And I'm Sarah Vincent with Sarah Vincent Virtual Pilates.
But on Wednesdays and Saturdays.
We are the Barbershop Duet.
Hey, y'all, come on in. Thank you for finding our little barbershop. If you happen to be here during one of the live premieres on YouTube, why? Come on in the live chat. Meet the Whiff Pack, a cool group of friends hanging out from all over the world. They'd love to meet you, too.
They would. And for our mention today, we wanted to talk about Ariana and Evan's Christmas scent. Yes, it's called Christmas. From the sales page, this fragrance is not a gimmicky Christmas scent. It can be even worn all year round. Here are the scent notes: mandarin, pine needles, fireplace burning embers, marshmallow, davana, Somalian myrrh, vanilla, frankincense, labdanum, sandalwood, and balsam fir.
This is a scent plucked right out of Peter's memory banks. This is not evergreen. This is not anything traditionally Christmas. This is the smell of Christmas Eve outside of his family house in upstate New York when he was growing up, and it is amazing. And the reason we bring it up today, there is a new EDP of Christmas available from aegrooming.com and shavingshopclub.com. What is our soap today?
We get to go back to the 2000s. The soap today, brand new release, Tramp Stamp. Let's meet it.
All right, y'all. So Tramp Stamp is actually a collaboration between Peter and his daughter, Talia. Talia recently began her journey at Pratt University in Brooklyn, where she is studying perfuming. And this scent is where their knowledge and wisdom and love of perfuming come together. Now, there are two different pages here describing the scent. We're going to read Talia's first from the sales page at aegrooming.com.
I wanted to pay tribute to the early 2000s pop culture. I was born in the early 2000s, and tramp stamps were at their prime. I was too young to comprehend what tramp meant. All I knew was that I found the people who had them to be the hottest and coolest I've ever seen. I'm really excited to share this with you guys, developed out of pure love.
And from Peter's sales page, Tramp Stamp is a nostalgic and provocative scent that channels the unapologetic spirit of 2000s pop culture with a fresh, modern twist. It opens with a vivid burst of mandarin and a touch of black pepper that immediately brings back the carefree energy of the era. The heart unfolds into a rebellious mix of rose, davana, saffron, and ink, creating a story of bold self-expression and the fleeting trends that defined the time. It feels playful, a little reckless, and unmistakably personal.
As it settles, the fragrance deepens into rich oud and creamy patchouli fractions, giving warmth and longevity without ever stepping into that classic hippie patchouli territory. A soft, intimate skin note grounds everything and brings it closer, evoking the raw, expressive attitude that made the decade unforgettable.
ISO super might be in here.
Huh?
Tattoo ink, skin, mystery, personal. Sounds like a perfect assignment for Peter, Talia, and AE Grooming, y'all. Let's take this one out of the box. Y'all, look at how these come from aegrooming.com. They always arrive safe and sound. Look at that packaging. You didn't see pistachio silk or birthday suit. Those are coming up. The one's on my birthday. All right, you open that, and I will open. Yes.
And the new Ultima 2 case.
Right. Have we tried Ultima 2 yet?
I think so.
Oh, this will be an important episode. And here is the splash bottle.
Ooh,
look at that graphic, y'all. It's beautiful.
I don't know if it comes across on camera, but you can actually tell, like, it's kind of worn on the skin, like it's an actual tattoo on the label.
It's ink.
And look at the little designs next to it. That's what I think of when I think of tramp stamps. Are you ready to go back to the 2000s?
I'm about to put on something midriff bearing. Come along with us for a first impression. Well, as the more feminine half of the Barbershop Duet, I think you should have your Tramp Stamp first impression here. Go ahead, take it
I think my mom would roll over if she knew that we had a
she's not going to watch
scent.
this episode. It's PG-13.
Although I do technically have a tattoo. It's on my foot.
All right, take it in, see what you got.
Going in. Here's the Ultima 2 for those who want to see.
I'm so excited about this. All right, take it in, see how it holds a scent. Right, all right, here we go. Oh, she started to smile. That didn't always happen.
It does feel like a little time warp back to the 2000s. Okay, I didn't get the mandarin as much as I thought I was going to get at the beginning of the whiff. I do get more of the rose kind of a side. So that's coming through. I mean, it does have a tattoo of a rose, so I'm assuming that's a big point of this. But the ink part, I don't know if I knew if that would have a scent to it, but it kind of comes across slightly chemical-ish in a good way.
Right.
Like, it does take me back to the 90s, 2000s somehow. Like, I think part of me even can get like a idea of like a hairspray. Like, kind of like that kind of whiff. If you walk by someone that has hairspray, it's just a little bit of that. Like, somehow that is 2000s for me also. So that might be the ink part, but just my brain is kind of perceiving it as what I know a little bit better.
Well, ditto paper was one of the best things to smell in the 80s and 90s.
My brain is almost picking up like an ozone-ish kind of a thing. Yeah. So again, that might be part of the inky notes. I just don't know exactly how they work, but it's creating something in that lane that's working super well. I think the skin note, I kind of get like an ISO-y super maybe in there, but then it also could be like fresh, clean skin, like right out of the shower. Like there's almost like a soapiness coming through. So that might be where the skin inspiration portion is coming from.
Is it a little reminiscent of Paganini's violin?
Not as much as I thought it was going to be. Okay. It's a little more, I don't want to say feminine, but it's a little more on the floral side is jumping in. The rose meeting with the soapiness. Right. Somehow that's kind of coming through. So it's less raw, if that makes sense. If I go looking for the rose, I get everything around it. Like once my brain found the rose in there, and then when I go to whiff and I smell for the rose, then I can get the depth of everything that's happening around it, which is actually a fun experience. So I can get a little more of what I think is the inky kind of side. Right. It's not incensey, but there's something that has that color in mind. I don't know how they're creating that, but I can see maybe a peppery kind of thing. Something in there represents that darker color of the ink. Right. And then if I go past the soapy side, now I'm getting more of actually the skin note itself. So it's not quite Paganini's violin, but it does have something approaching that line. It just is a little more, the florals next to it kind of changes it a little bit.
Gotcha.
I think there's a new floral in here. Like past what I was getting as the rose side, I think there's something in here that's creating the fresh kind of skin note. So I think whatever that other floral is adding the soapy kind of cleanliness side.
Now there's like 5 guys out there with their hands up wanting to know whether this is masculine or feminine, because it does say Tramp Stamp on the label. It is a Talia scent. Where's it sitting for you?
I kind of want to lean a little more on the feminine side. Okay. If you're a gentleman that doesn't mind some of the floral stuff, I think you actually might enjoy this as well. There's a fresh, clean side to this that's really coming across. So I think on you, that might come across a little different than it would on my skin.
Sinatra kept a rose in his lapel. You know what I mean? Florals can be eminently masculine.
There's an odd daytime like brightness to this that I wasn't expecting. I don't know why. I just kind of, think in the 2000s, tramp stamps and going to the tattoo parlor was more of like an evening thing for some reason. But this is like an all day kind of scent, like almost like a morning kind of whiff to it somehow.
I'd love to know what people you hung out with. We just went down to the diner and got milkshakes.
Maybe that's how my mom painted it, so I wouldn't have the wanting of getting a tattoo sort of in there. Right. But this was back in the 2000s where all the gals had the juicy couture outfits that were like the really low cut jeans going on, everything. So that part was really showing, and it's kind of impossible not to see. But I think my mom was helping us to not notice it.
You weren't allowed to watch The Simpsons.
It's true.
And they went to church. I was not allowed to watch Porky's. That's where my parents drew the line. I could literally watch everything else. Then I found out the same guy made Christmas Story. Do with that what you will.
It really does throw it back to like the late 90s, early 2000s, getting ready, kind of having your hairspray and putting your little body perfume on or something. Like there's something about the getting ready vibe that's coming through with this scent that kind of adds the more feminine touch for me, or like my teenage years in a fun way.
Remember the tramp stamp joke in Cars?
Right.
When she's got a little decal on her bumper?
I am so curious to see what you think about this.
I am too. I have been wondering what this was going to smell like. All right. How sweet is it?
Oh, I think that's that mid-floral that I was trying to figure out.
Gotcha.
It is leaning a little more, not gourmandy sweet, but naturally like florally sweet.
All right, here we go. Taking it in, the Ultima 2. Oh, interesting. Not entirely unfamiliar. If you do know the florals from A&E, but it goes off into some wild new directions from there. I'm getting a beautiful white color that then descends into some burgundies and into some golds.
That's funny. You're getting the colors now.
Right.
instead of
Right.
me.
The florals are definitely the doorman. But the door is to a DeLorean because this then takes you on a time traveling experiment and it is whisking me back to college. Okay, you know what's interesting? When I smell sweet stuff from Sterling Soap, that's my sister's room growing up. That's what it smelled like. I was 3 or 4 years older. This smells like my college roommates who were girls. There's a different scent that you put on when you're a grown-up than there is when you're a teenager in high school. And this kind of captures, like you said, something about the hairspray, something about the perfumes of the era, but it goes deeper. Something about the mascaras, something about the makeup of that era is in here. How do you know that, Marcus? Because I was a theater kid. I had to use all of that stuff from the local drugstore. I didn't go to MAC for my theater makeup back then. All right, just under the florals, this takes off into 2 very different directions, and I'm starting to get a sense of the story they're telling because one of them goes off into some resins, into something dark. Essences of patchouli, indicative of the ink itself, and a little bit of that dark-ish parlor where you might have had it done. I'm thinking the Village in New York City. The other direction, and this is a little interesting, like you mentioned, is your mom waiting at home. On the far left of this is a tiny bit of the powder that I sensed in white diamonds, which everybody's mom wore in the 90s and 2000s. It is very faint, but it's under there on the left, wondering where you are with those resins and the tattoo ink on the right. Ooh. And y'all, the transition from the oud into the amber into the powder laterally under the florals is part of the magic of this. Well, the florals are almost the perfume that you're wearing out on your adventure, and you have to smell deeper to smell the other things that you have on. What a vibe.
I guess technically we both have been in a tattoo parlor together because we went with my sister.
And she got her big whale tattoo. Well, you want to make sure the guy's not a little sketchy.
Right. You're about to leave her there for like 6 hours.
They can't all be Jerry Plessy. The magic for me is where like the oud and the darks are pulling against the florals, because I am a little bit familiar with a couple of those white floral notes in here from A&E, but they are having brand new adventures being pulled on. Well, it's a perfect collab because you can sense what Peter adds. We know Peter's knows, but everything Talia's learning about at school and how those might go along with those AE senses that she grew up with is inspired.
So you asked me earlier how feminine this was. Do you have an answer yet, or do you need more time?
I would probably say it's mostly a feminine vibe.
Right.
But gentlemen, how can I better describe this? When I play video games where I have to follow around a character for the next 40 or 50 hours that I'm going to play that, I choose a female character because whose butt do you want to stare at for the next 9 weeks? There are definitely times in my shaving locker where I want to remember going out on the town with my college friends for a little bit of that dangerous experiencing life for the first time adventure, and I don't want to smell the guy part. I want to smell the girl part. Not the girl parts, the girl... Never mind. Oh, the skin note.
Yes.
Hold on.
Past the floral, past
because
the
that's
ink.
not right. I was about to say that's not being done with floral. It's being done with something different. I kind of want to say it's a musk, but that's cheating.
No.
Because it's not really coming across as that. It's something homey. It's something, again, with a little bit of momness to it. But again, not a floral.
But it smells like clean skin.
Right.
I don't know where those are connecting, but
and
it's clean.
Not clean laundry musk. It does not go in that direction. I'm trying to figure that note out because it is just beguiling.
Right. There was definitely time spent on creating whatever that is actually
Way
creating.
under the surface. Well, you know, there might be some answers when we go back to the sales page, look at the scent notes, and build our Ultima 2 ladder. All right, y'all, back to the sales page at aegrooming.com. We start with mandarin. A little mysterious because I don't get that in here. I get mandarin kind of as a sweet, round citrus, nothing tart or pulpy inside of a mandarin for me, almost candied.
You know, I forgot that was in here, but there is something that's throwing it to the 90s for me, and I kind of feel like that's helping take some of the florals and just add a little lens to them.
I'm getting it more of a neroli, I think.
Okay,
than a
I see
mandarin,
that.
which is seamlessly transitioning for me into the rose And the Divana, a flower and an herb. How are you getting the rose underneath the familiar florals from something like Barbary Classico? How are you getting the rose? Because it's different for me.
To me, when I pictured rose before we even got into the shaving world, this is the rose that I pictured because I think it was the rose used in a lot of the 90s stuff that I had or early 2000s. So when I picture rose, I actually think of this version of the rose in a sense. So I get that ruby red, but almost like a dried, not potpourri, but like something's happened to the florals. So having the Divana next to it, I think that's where my brain is actually putting the herb with the floral.
And y'all, Divana. Boozy, woodsy, sweet, and dried fruit. Is she good? I love how that's going along with the rose.
Right.
And then here you go. Saffron.
Oh.
I did kind of sense that now that I'm reading it. Think a little bit of BR 540 kind of going on in there. It gives it a warmth.
Interesting. Maybe I'll get it more in the splasher when we lather it, but it's hard for me to find that one. It must be used there just to kind of create that fun little transition from the florals to the rest.
Right. And I'm kind of getting it inside the florals. So for me, the saffron and the florals are coming together.
Gotcha. And then, my friends, we literally have tattoo ink as a scent note. I'm not exactly sure what's creating that. It must be about the almost hairspray-ish kind of a, like kind of the evening to me is coming through. But that's next to black pepper and oud. So maybe our brain is just putting them all together in that little oudy, almost peppery, charcoaly kind of color.
And I love and appreciate imaginative scent notes. Things that you'd never actually smell or think of smelling, like seashells, something like that. And tattoo ink, never actually had my nose on it. And yet, as a human, we kind of get the sense of what that vibe would be, like snake venom, you know?
I kind of want to call my sister and ask what she would describe that as, because she's gotten a few different tattoos that you sit there for like hours doing. Mine was super fast. I think it was like 15 minutes. So I don't have enough to like associate a scent with tattoo ink. I think I actually smell more like how clean it was in the tattoo parlor. Like everything is cleaned with alcohol like hourly.
And then skin. I love it when an artisan builds a sense of clean skin, like Barrister and Mann's Paganini's violin we were referencing earlier. This is in a different way.
Agreed.
How are you sensing it here?
Yeah, I think the Paganini violin one, that is more, not want to say generic, but like anyone's skin can kind of smell like that. Where this, I feel like, has like a younger, slightly feminine cleanliness to it. Like I kind of got like a powdered soap. Like the old ones at school used to pump the thing and the powder would come out.
Oh, the borax?
Is that what it is?
Yeah.
Maybe something like that. Like there's a texture to this.
In the tattoo ink. Right.
Yeah, like somehow it's been exfoliated. I don't know.
That.
Like maybe that's where the skin and the ink are colliding somehow.
That would be inspired. I wouldn't be surprised that was part of how they did it.
I kind of want to call them and ask how they did it because now I want to know. But it is in there. If you go past the florals, if you go past the stuff you recognize, that's in the part of the scent that I don't know. So I'm going to spend a lot of time wanting to get to know that more, I think.
And now the part that a bunch of guys are skipping to so they don't have to hear us talk about flowers for 20 minutes. This is us building our first lather with the Ultima 2 base. Look at that. That's a little different. You know what? Hold on. I want you to have this experience too. Would you grab a new stick of your own?
Oh, and feel.
I want you to feel getting that out of the tub.
I'm curious now.
Right?
Oh, you're right.
I know. A little bit.
That does feel a little different.
Softer, but it's got a little bit of sort of a flakiness to it.
Yeah,
it comes
that's
up
a good
in
word.
layers, right? Oh, but it just pushes beautifully soft into the ridges of this Haley's Artisan bowl. When it came to the theme of this soap, I thought this bowl was the most apropos.
And then, of course, I had to bust out my synthetic knot A&E brush.
I love that thing. It's an homage to the vintage shaving brushes of the 40s and 50s that our grandpappies used. I'm just going to hit this with a little water from the Sean and Julie Memorial Bougie Sprayer. Oh, interesting.
Getting whiffs?
Well, the mandarin might be poking its head above the surface a little bit.
Okay.
All right, how are you going to build our lather here with this new base?
I'm taking my dry brush onto where we've got the soap in the bowl. And I just start working one direction, getting it out of those little divots onto the bristles, go in the other direction. And then once it feels like it's actually not grabbing any more soap, I'm going to turn the brush and keep going with that same idea, getting it out of those little groovies in there. Right. One direction. We probably put a little extra soap in here than we needed, but that's okay.
It's almost gone from the bottom of the bowl. And look at that. There is barely any lather in that bowl yet. Why? That is totally on purpose. Our lathering method is designed to pull the soap onto the bristles of the brush before we begin making a lather. That way, you can take that to the face, to the legs, back to the bowl, or anywhere you want to build your lather.
So I'm going to start adding just a little water and building that lather as we go here. So then you have a little more control over how thick it's going to be.
Can we get Mark Zarati over here real quick? Because somebody needs to scream boom lather
It's coming, don't you worry.
Y'all watch the Monday Morning Mailbag, don't you? It's a great show. Look at that lather
It
coming
is coming
through.
to life.
Beautiful.
I might need a little more water, but we did put a little extra stuff.
Right.
It's definitely starting to wake up. Like, I get
Holy.
more in the whiff each
I'm getting
time.
it over here, too.
Do you want to try out this Ultima too? See what you feel?
Yeah, I gotta do a little bit. Okay, here we go. Oh, there's some pushback to this brush already. This is increasing in
And look
its
at that
thickness.
iridescence waking up,
Right.
my friends. Woo-wee.
There is something naughty in this scent.
Just a little.
There's
just
a little something
that
like,
rebelliousness kind of thing.
definitely belongs, but is the outlier.
Right.
You know, like, you know, you have that one friend, you know.
They're very comfortable in their skin.
Right.
Let's just say.
The one who, if you don't want to go talk to that person, they will go talk to that person for you.
We all need those types of friends. Let's be real. It is very cool, like when I see people on their stories and stuff that are now grandparents and stuff that all have tattoos, like the generation that started here, you know, like they were the adults, and as it keeps going.
Don't trust anyone under 30 and it's all sagging down.
But it is interesting because I remember that being like, you know, it would be weird, like when I got mine, I wanted it to be a place I could cover it if I wanted to because I didn't want to be a grandma with tattoos. But now I feel like that's kind of totally okay. It's a very different time.
Being in the theater, I once had the thought, when would anyone ever ask me to take my shirt off on stage, right? Well, then I got the role of the silverback in Tarzan.
There you go. Okay, that
Look at
lather,
this.
my goodness.
Y'all, look, this is different.
Work has been done.
This is special. And while we do love watching our old shaving with Charky videos when Talia was like 12 running around, we don't do shaving here in the Barbershop Duet, but we know you do need to see what this lather looks like when it coats and covers.
Oh boy.
Are you serious right now? You got some in your eye, girl.
I might have lowered it big. Okay, this definitely has a density to it, a slickness. Things have evolved. I can tell
crap.
they spent some time upgrading this bad boy here. Right?
Wow.
We're gonna have to rock, paper, scissors to see who shaves with this bad boy first.
It's just so thick. This might be the thickest lather I've ever used.
And the good news is we have a few more in this new base waiting for us under the tree.
I know. We struck at midnight. Patient number 9, birthday suit. Stay tuned.
Pistachio silk.
Y'all, I will be shaving with this tonight.
Right?
For sure.
Do you
I can't
feel
wait to
that?
shoot the How It Shaves section.
Holy
You should
moly.
too.
We can all go back to 2000s. We got to play some music from the 2000s
Right.
while we build the lathers. It's going to be a whole thing.
Well, y'all, turn on your episode of Friends and fire up your original iPhones because we are going back to the year 2000 and taking this a little bit deeper. This is what her tattoo looks like. No, I'm kidding. I'm totally kidding.
But then I snuck my sister to get hers as soon as she turned 18.
Is your mom mad?
Yes, big time. We both knew we'd have to tell her, but we got the tattoo first. And then we had to tell her before my sister got home. That was probably one of my most rebellious moments. But if my sister was going to get one, I wanted to make sure she went to a legit place, and I at least knew the dude. So there you go.
My mom's dad used to propagate and sell peonies. He was actually quite known for it. So when she got Alzheimer's, even though she spent her life deathly afraid of needles, she got a giant peony tattoo so she wouldn't forget.
I wonder how popular if you go to ask a tattoo artist now, like how often that even gets requested.
Or how many nursing home patients are going to have tramp stamps in like 40 years.
Yeah, because, I mean, you can kind of cover it because now everyone wears more high-waisted pants, so you wouldn't really have to tell the world, but at some point.
It was the style of the time. And here comes my favorite part of the show, watching Sarah try to take this electrical tape off the top of the splash.
Oh, it's an easy one.
That was a record. That was a
Well,
record.
that was half.
Okay, there we go. That was still a record. All right, that means you get to go first. Try some.
Okay, all right, let's see. I'm guessing this is the same, that this hasn't gone to a different Ultima splash,
no, I
right?
have not
Just
heard
the
anything
soap.
about an upgrade to the splash.
Okay.
Here we go. Oh, there's the mandarin.
Yeah, you're right.
There it is.
And more of the patchouli, but in a clean way.
And the mandarin on top and the patchouli underneath are starting the movement. For me, y'all, that's the do-si-do.
This is a little less feminine, I have to say.
100%.
This is much more clean.
This has got definite masculine edges, and the florals are subdued.
Right.
In this, they are way more prominent. Hold on. Wait a minute. This is something you only find here in the Barbershop Duet. This is the tiptoe through the tulips with on 3, 1, 2. Okay, and then that's different. That's
like, I'm getting the ink here. I'm getting the skin note here. I don't know how they're creating them, but I'm getting less of that kind of a hairspray-ish kind of thing.
That's from this. And then this is more what it would smell like as you come back home after that night out.
I think it's the oud and the pepper.
Right.
As this is drying down, I'm getting more and more of that actual charcoaly ink kind of color.
And the mandarin is an absolute delight in the splash. And you know what? I'm going to start making some proclamations around here.
All right.
I like it when the splash and the soap are slightly different. And
Yep.
y'all, I am sure there have not been any rebalancings done to the formula. I think it's just in how the different mediums, the soap,
Yep.
the alcohol, and the witch hazel hold on to those scents. And different forms of them are going to come out. So I love having a slightly different experience in a soap and splash when it does this. And I think some of your more hand-perfumed scents tend to do that anyway.
Well, and you spend, about 10 to 20 minutes building your lather, spending time with the lather version. So it's nice to have the next step. You're spending that next, few hours or so with the splash or with the EDP. So it's nice to have a little variety in how they come together.
It is funny how this is way more masculine.
I would agree completely. I don't know if anyone would really know you're wearing something if you had this on, which I think is kind of part of the strategy.
It just is the clean sense of your jacket and the clean leather from your shoes and the clean stuff in your hair and some about the trees outside where you're walking around. It's just a vibe of a clean, put together and rather adventurous person with a past. So it's pretty simple, y'all. Just be Lightning McQueen having just about destroyed Radiator Springs, and you're going to be put in front of the judge the next morning. And when the attorney comes in, you're going to make a little bit of a social faux pas, assuming she's on your side. She definitely isn't. But when you do notice the decal on her bumper, you are going to get a little bit of hope back and get your own. So head over to aegrooming.com or shavingshopclub.com to find this and a bunch of other stuff I want. Well, I've had my shave, y'all, with Tramp Stamp, and fans of A&E will find something delightfully familiar in this. The florals, the way they layer, think cathedral, think Barbary Classico or incense and oud. And then under that, everything that Talia has put together in this is a fabulous balance. The idea of getting ready for a night on the town in college and all the excitement that goes along with it. Maybe even try to figure out what tattoo you're going to come home with at the end of the night. But y'all, let's have a conversation about this Ultima 2 base. A noticeable improvement. I'll want to spend some time with it before I make my final proclamations, but thicker, richer, more protective, and my razor was not afraid to do some of those passes where normally I'd get a little bit of a weeper garden going on. Not here, y'all. This is next level, and I am really enjoying it. Thank you, Peter, Talia, and Evelyn for this, and we will be back before the month is over.
Welcome to our December messages.
So y'all, for my 50th birthday, I asked Sarah to buy me a Grizzly Bay custom brush in barbershop colors. And not only did he make us one, he made us two. And the second one he sent for free to have as a giveaway for y'all here on the show. And all you have to do to be eligible for this giveaway is send us a message here to we sent you at the barbershopduet.com so we can get back to you. It's the only way we communicate about our giveaways. And then check back here on our first January episode to see if you are our lucky winner.
Best of luck.
Fellas, I was really thinking the patchouli, the oud, the pepper were going to give this a solid sort of masculine side, but it doesn't. It makes it more unisex. It puts it more down the middle. Does this smell masculine? Well, it depends. It depends on what type of masculine you are. Does it smell feminine? Well, it depends. Is it the kind of feminine that my Aunt Jane was, who would read Christmas Carol every year from the beginning, unabridged, and serve strawberries and cream? Or more like my cousin Sheila, who likes to go out and... Okay, we can't say what Sheila goes out and does, but this is more on the lines of that.
I'm even more curious now to get patient number 9 and some of the other new scents that they just dropped, because clearly we are opening some new doors around here.
I've got glad tidings of great joy, because patient number 9 is packed and ready to be sent here for an upcoming episode.
Whoo, my friends, don't forget your next appointment with the Barbershop Duet.
You'll smell better just watching this.